Hello viewers, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Vivian, aka African Princess. Today I want to do a video about the cost of living in Sweden, and let's start. Yeah. So I think the biggest or the giant in the room in this video will be the rent. We all know that rent is the biggest bill you can ever have. Or, I mean, it depends. Some people have cars. Anyway, let's start the video. We're going to talk about the rent, and here, at least for so many of us, rent is the one that takes the biggest part of your salary. And rent is different for different people. It depends on where you live. Like bigger cities are very expensive, meaning the rent is high, and then it depends on where in the city you live, because those who live in the city center or in the heart of the city, then the rent is very high. And then the far you go from the city or from the city center, the lower the rent it becomes. So there's so many factors. Another thing will be the size of the apartment. I'm going to talk about, like, let's assume it's a one-room apartment, but then the size of that room or that apartment will affect of course, the rent. Here they measure in square meters. So if your apartment is big, the rent is gonna be a little bit high. And is the apartment close to everything, especially those ones that live in the heart of the city? Like the apartment is close to stores, clothing stores, food stores. It's maybe close to the bus station, it's close to the train station, or to the hospital, or the biggest hospital in town. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit high. What else affects the rent? The kind of the building. Is it an old building? Then the price will be fair. Is it a new building? Buildings come with new stuff in, like new and good appliances in it, and they are always expensive compared to the old buildings that have been here for 100 years. I mean, like 50, 60 years, something like that. I live very close to the city. I think I'm in the heart of the city, something like that. Because if I'm going to the train station, I just walk like 5 minutes. The bus station, I just walk like 5 minutes. Everything is very close to me. So the rent is quite high now compared to how much I used to pay before I moved in this apartment. So I live in very small city, Falun, and my apartment is 45 square meters. It's a one-room apartment with kitchen, washroom, blah blah blah, and a very small walk-in closet. It's a very small closet, and I pay around 5,000 Swedish crowns. Before I moved here, I was in the same-ish size of this apartment. Like, it was the same size. No, this one is 45 square meters, the other one was 43 square meters, and it was away, like a few minutes away from here, or from the city. And I used to pay it was 4,000 something Swedish crowns. So yeah, the difference is not so big because it's still not far away from the city. But for those ones who live like back away from the city, then the price is actually good. The rent is actually good. So I'm going to say the rent can cost you between like 3,000 to 6,000, depending on where you are. And we are talking about like one-room apartment. So it can cost even more for those who want 2 rooms, those people with big families. So it will be a little bit expensive. Another thing that I'm going to talk about is food. Maybe food should have came first, but anyway, I think this is not only here in Sweden, but food has become very expensive lately. I remember when I moved out from my parents' apartment, it was a little bit affordable. I didn't even think much when I was spending on food. It was a little bit affordable compared to now. And for those who eat out a lot, then the cost even goes higher. Those who love their takeaways, those who go like out maybe every weekend or I don't know how many times a week, those people who want to order online and have their food delivered, where do you get that money? But anyway, then the food will even be more expensive. But for those who cook at home like me, then I think it costs around 2,000 to 3,500, depending on how I mean your eating habits and things like that. So another thing that we are going to talk about will be transportation. Yeah, like the transportation system is different depending on the city or in the city you live in. Like here in Sweden, like every city or every region has its own transportation system. I live in Falun, and Falun is in the Dalarna region, and the whole Dalarna we have our own, transport system, and it's called Dollar Traffic. So there's buses that take us only in Falun, but then you can also go outside Falun as long as it's within our region. So they only operating within our region. And the ticket, they're also increasing the price. Like when we came a few years ago, the price was a little bit down, but now it has increased just a little. So the price depends on the kind of the ticket you want and the age. Let's assume you're going to have like a monthly ticket or a monthly card. We normally buy a card and you can refill, like, or you can always pay every month, because that way is more cheaper if you use the public transport every day or many days a week. There are those people who don't, then maybe you don't need a card, then you can just buy a simple ticket, which is 30 crowns. Yeah, it's like 30 crowns for just one trip. You went somewhere and then it's something like that. Is it one trip or it expires after around 1 hour, something like that. But then for a monthly ticket, for someone who is 25 and below, I'm talking about my city, it's very different for other cities or other regions. So here in my city, for someone who is below 26 years, like 25 and below, they usually pay 338 Swedish crowns. And for those ones who are above, I'm joining the group very soon. Anyway, for those ones who are 26 and above, they pay 557 Swedish crowns. And this is something that can change, I think, anytime. Yeah, but then a good thing is kids like from 7 years and below, is it 6 years and below, they don't pay. So you begin to pay from 7 years and above. I think still, because our city is small, so it's kind of affordable in my opinion. I've been to Malmo, and for 1 month I paid, it was 500 something, yeah, a 1 month card or ticket. And then I have lived in Västerås as well, and it was 600 per month. And then in Stockholm, because it's also a bigger city, it's I don't know, could be 600 or 700 per month, so I don't know. And then for students always have discounts, so for those high school students, primary school students, and just any other student in general, they always have discounts, so always remember to take advantage of that. Yeah, so let's talk about something else. I think we should talk about electricity. So electricity, there's no fixed price, by the way, because it depends on how much electricity you use. And I think different cities have, I don't know, I don't even know. But let me talk about us or me, or in general. Actually the price goes high during this season, like winter, because the winters in winter the heaters are always on. That's a lot of electricity that you're taking. And then because it's always darker, like from the afternoon until the next morning, so the lights are always on. So during this season we always pay like too much compared to other seasons. So, and then it depends on how big your house is, how many things or gadgets do you have that take electricity. We are not going to talk about that, but yeah, so it might range from 2050 Swedish crowns to 400, 500. I remember last year during this season, I don't know if it was in December or something, I paid more than 500 Swedish crowns, and I was like, wait, what? Yeah, so it was like that. Another thing that we should talk about is different subscriptions. We can begin with Wi-Fi, but then this depends on the internet service providers that you're using. We have a lot of them here. I use Tele2, and then there is Telia, Telenor, and other providers. And then which kind of services you want from them. But for me, and then when you're new to those providers, they usually give you a very good discount, almost they give you a very good discount. In the beginning you're enjoying, but then after like 1 year, yeah, it's always 1 year, something like that. But is it 1 year? I don't even know. The first 2 years the price was fair, but now it has, what do they think I get money from? But then your Wi-Fi might range from 300 Swedish crowns to even 500 Swedish crowns. It depends. So always check the internet service providers that you have around your area. Call them, see the offers they can give you, which deals can they give you. Ask for discounts, by the way, they usually give, so ask for discount and see. Another thing that I want to talk about when it comes to subscription, I can't even speak common English. It should be mobile networks. Like, let's talk about your mobile data, because yes, when you're at home you will use Wi-Fi and enjoy it, but then what happens when you leave? When you're outside, you will need some kind of data, so you can keep in touch with reality, with the world, with the rest of the world. Anyway, so the mobile data, again, it depends on the mobile networks that you're using. I use Convec. Is that how they pronounce it? Convec. And then, like I said in the beginning, they are so nice and they give you discount. When I started, I was paying 95 Swedish crowns, and then after 1 year it went to I reached the point where they were sending an invoice which was 100, and then it went to, right now I'm paying 145 Swedish crowns. But hey, it's for 10 gigabytes. I think that's a lot for 1 month. I don't usually finish it, and I'm always on WhatsApp, I'm always on I don't have TikTok, but I'm always checking a lot of videos on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. And 10 gigabytes enough just for outside use, and then when you come back home you go back to your Wi-Fi and enjoy it. So yeah, but per month it might cost you between 95 to 500 plus Swedish crowns. Yeah. Anyway, there are other extra costs that I didn't talk about, like gym. Do you have a membership at the gym, which could be 3,050 and above, and entertainment, like, do you have Netflix subscription? We have do you go out to watch movies? Do you go to the concerts? Do you have trips? Those are other extra costs that I didn't cover because I don't even know where to start from. So that was it. I'm going to try to put a total at the end of the video. I don't know if it's even necessary because this thing is different for everyone and it depends on where you live and your lifestyle. But that was it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.